Hey everybody, it's Intersolar 2024. We're at the Solis booth. It's going to be a great year. It's been a great year in solar. Everything is coming back up, and now we have some new products we're going to show off. And this is for you, LinkedIn and other platforms. So come over and we're going to look at the balcony inverter. Finally selling it now, mostly in Germany and Austria. So this is kind of a setup here. This is an 800 watt inverter. It's got a Wi-Fi built in, and it's got an actual whole MPPT string inverter basically inside. So that's what separates it. So let's move on over here. We have a new three-phase inverter, 25 through 36 kilowatts, and this will be releasing in September. So very excited about that inverter. It's an overall update, 20 amp inputs. And then our new slim inverter, which is we shrank it down, 16 amp inputs, resi. So it'll replace the old 2.5 to 6K. And then, I think this is the second time we've shown it, but in person, but the new EV charger. It comes in two versions, 7 kilowatts and 22 kilowatts, single phase and three phase. And it has all the features. It has OCPP, it has all the features that you need for an EV charger, and also has some dynamic smart charging, so you can actually charge your car when the price of the power that you're buying is cheap. So I'll show you more of that on later. So let's work our way over here. So the ones on the back here are kind of products that we already sell in the market. 3 through 10 kilowatt, three phase is very popular in Germany and also the UK, Ireland. And then over here is our trusted single phase S5 version. Still being sold. And then I'll show you the update to that on the other side. This is a brand new product, mainly used on East Europe, but we're seeing a lot of requests for it on West Europe also, and definitely South Africa. This is 8 through 15K, three-phase, low voltage. That's low voltage on the battery. So there's nothing like it on the market, actually. So very interesting. You also can parallel it up to 6. And it's got the smart port, like our other inverters. So the smart port can be extra backup, Gen port, AC coupled, and then it's got how many inputs on this bad boy? This has got 2 inputs, 20 amp inputs. So yeah, very interesting product. Just now releasing it, so look for that through your distributors. 12 through 20K, very popular this year. We added the display back, just released last month. 4 inputs, 20 amp inputs. It's got that smart port on it that we all talk about. You can use for a generator, you can use AC couple, you can use for an extra backup. It has the other backup, so it has 2 backups. And you can do some like smart charging. If the battery SoC is at a certain point, you can turn the backup port on. So a lot of new features. Also parallel up to 6, so 120 kilowatts. So this is the replacement for the single phase. This is the S6 single phase 3 through 8K, and it's the Plus version. Added the display back. The previous version we removed the display. Now we put it back because customers were saying you have to have the display no matter what. So has that smart port like the other one. So it's kind of something that we're going to be adding on every inverter. Extra backup, and then this one has two inputs. The 8K has an extra input, so up to 32 amps times 2. So moving our way over here, this is a kind of a niche product, so niche, 12 through 16K, single phase, low voltage battery. So this is a monster, and this is mainly for the markets like South Africa, where you want that whole home backup. You don't need anything else. You just this inverter, whole home backup, no problem. Also used in the UK. So let's go in the back here. I'm going to show you the new off-grid. So we just released the S6 version, upgraded it completely, and testing went beautiful. Amazing inverter. It's just a single MPPT. It's very economical. It's got a lot of the devices like the other one's got that Gen port, the smart port. And then we added some new features on it, but I can get into detail on that later. This is brand new, never been shown actually. So this is AC coupled, 5 through 10K, no PV, right? AC coupled. So you can use this for the price charging or price arbitrage, energy arbitrage, whatever you want to call it. So the new market right now is basically you have your pricing into the monitoring system, right? It tells you how much you're paying for the electricity, and then the inverter will say, hey, let's charge at this time, say 3 a.m. to 4 a.m., and then later we're gonna sell that. But it's dynamic because your pricing on your tariff is dynamic. So the Solis Cloud has the pricing in Solis Cloud, and then it'll work with this to charge, discharge, make you money. Very interesting. This is basically the same thing, but single phase. Single phase, 3.6 to 6 kilowatt, AC coupled. It doesn't have the backup port. It's mainly used for self-consumption, adding retrofit. Very popular in the Netherlands, Belgium, also in the UK. Very popular. So let's move on over here. We upgraded our commercial inverters. So this is the new S6. It's going to be 80 through 125K. We upgraded the inputs, and you can see over here, this is actually a new product we're releasing, and this is the S3 logger, right? And we're going to sell the 4G version in Europe. It's cellular, basically built into it. What this enables now, if you ever buying Solis, it enables you to add a weather station, add a meter, and then you can add 15 inverters per RS45, so you can do 30 inverters on this. So, and then also the EPM right here, we're putting this into this little box. So a lot of great things coming, and then there's also an update to that coming. So very interesting product, and if you want to know more, reach out to me. This is, I think this is the first time we've ever shown it. 150 kilowatt, 400 volt AC, right? So typical commercial inverter, but 150 kilowatts, right? So I think there's only a couple other companies that have 150 kilowatt inverter. It's 1.5 DC AC ratio, 20 amp inputs, very common now. We removed the display just because you don't need it on commercial inverters. So yeah, very excited. Customers are super excited for this product. Now this is kind of interesting, and give me a little moment to explain this, right? So this is like our commercial storage, right? And I know you just see some racks, but let me explain how it works, right? You got 3 racks. You have STS, which stands for static transfer switch, right? Then you have a PCS, that's basically like a DC to AC converter, like an inverter. And then you have the PV module. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna build your system. This PCS is basically, if you want a 100 kilowatt inverter, AC coupled, you're gonna add one of these, but you can go up to 10. So if you wanna, you can kind of build it. You're like, I want 10, or I want 5. And if you want backup, you add this. And it comes in a 250 and a 600 kilowatt version. So this is talking to this, saying, hey, we lost grid, turnover, be grid forming. This creates the grid, and then you're in backup mode. So places where you need backup, like data centers, South Africa, or all around Africa where you have unstable grid, and all around the world for that matter. And then if you want to add PV, you just slide these in, add the PV, and that connects to your DC bus, which connects to your batteries. So, and then you could keep stacking these as much as you want. So it's kind of like build your own system. It's pretty neat. So integrators will use these, or battery companies. So very interesting. Let's move on over here to the 50 kilowatt hybrid. 50 kilowatt, 8 inputs, but 4 MPPT, 20 amp inputs. Can parallel up to 6, so 300 kilowatts. We've already sold our first batch, and they sold out right away before they even hit the ground. So very popular, very exciting. Commercial storage in a box, and then later, a little secret, we're going to be releasing a 100 kilowatt hybrid like that. So don't tell anybody that. We could squeeze in here. Utility inverter. We're going really big on utility inverter, utility market this year. We're going to keep our 255. Okay, so we have our 255. We've sold a lot of those. It's on the other side. We can show it to you right after this. But we're moving up to the 350, releasing it Within 2 months, it's being released. The 255 is already released. We've already sold systems across Germany, Sweden, and all over the world. And then we're upgrading this. So there's going to be 2 versions, right? A 15 amp, 20 amp version. And it's going to have the C5 anti-corrosion, so that's going to be important if you're doing industrial, you're installing it near the seat, you're going to need that C5 protection. IP66, it's going to have, the one really, really interesting thing about this inverter is it has a fiber optic communication. So in those situations where you need quick response, dynamic response, where you need to derate the inverter within, I think it's 60 milliseconds, sorry. Definitely not 60 seconds. Then you need that fiber optic communication. And this is the first inverter that we introduced with that. And we're gonna put it on all of our utility inverters going forward. And then, of course, we'll show you the 255, and then the 255 already sold across Europe, very popular, and I'm so glad you came to see the booth, and we'll see you soon, hopefully. And if you're in Germany, come by and see us at Munich. Thank you.